I'm gonna tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for it. Before my kids go broke as like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your if you think I ain't finna walk out that stuff. And please follow me to that car if you feeling froggy. You ain't gonna make it back to your position at that Walmart store. I'm telling you.
TikTok is calling this a Walmart crisis. People are panicking, videos are going viral, and food stamp cuts may actually be coming this November. But this story goes way deeper than social media, and it affects everyone. All right, so picture this. You're standing at the grocery store checkout lane. You swipe your card because you're ready to buy, right? And all of a sudden, it's declined. Not because you overspent, but because the system that helps millions of different Americans buy food just stopped. So this all started off as like a quiet rumor spreading on Reddit forums and even TikTok, but now it is not just some random rumor online. CBS News recently confirmed that states like Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and here in Texas are warning residents that their SNAP, aka food stamp benefits, may not arrive in November if the government shutdown continues. Now, even if you don't personally use food assistance, this will affect you because when 40 million people just suddenly cannot buy groceries, that money does not flow into our local stores, small businesses, or the economy. So everyone feels the ripple effects. And it's all happening at the same time as these layoffs, they're rising again, hiring is slowing down, and people are already struggling to make ends meet. So whether it's benefits that are being cut or paychecks that are getting smaller, this all connects to the same story that America's financial stability is hanging on by a thread. So stick with me till the end because in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking about how this whole shutdown could hit wallets all across the country, what the AI is going on in 2025, why so many people are panicking, and real stories about how families are already being impacted. All right, so let's start where the fear actually began, on TikTok. Now, I love me a good old scroll session on TikTok. You can get lost in a rabbit hole somewhere on there. But just a few weeks ago, when the official information was quiet and a little hush-hush, social media filled in all of the blanks, and some people really got creative and created an entire storyline.
Why would you take away these people benefits? We literally just had to go home because everybody came into my grocery store. I work at Walmart. Everybody came into Walmart bum rushing, stealing, like filling up buggies, running out the store, like just putting all the groceries in their cart because he want to cut off motherfucking food stamps. Y'all, this shit is crazy. Like, I think y'all are getting y'all food stamps in November, or maybe some of y'all is not, but like, they literally just had to like do emergency evacuation at our store because everybody came in going crazy over like food for their kids. And I'm not gonna hold y'all. Isn't this the same orange dude that y'all voted for to be in presidency? Like, isn't this the same dude? The same Lorax man y'all voted for? Like, y'all, this shit is crazy. They literally had to like evacuate all of the employees at my job to the back because everybody came in stealing. Everybody said Christmas, holidays, like we finna just take everything out this. Like, this is crazy.
All right, I got a quick story time for y'all. I'm gonna hurry up and get off of here because I'm really shaking up from this. Okay, so we went down to our neighborhood Walmart and everything happened so quickly. We go inside of Walmart, we shopping. When we first went in, we noticed that it was a little crowded and it was feeling off. The atmosphere was just feeling off. So anyway, we go inside the store.
Honestly, when does the atmosphere not feel off at Walmart? I'm just saying.
And while we in the frozen food aisle, we start hearing all this chaos, like chaos at the front of the store, yelling and like a lot of commotion. So he was like, Colette, you go ahead and you take the kids, and I'm going to go see what's going on. You need to go to the back of the store and find the exits and see if it's an exit. And I know that there is an exit, like where they do like the Walmart grocery pickup and drop off or whatever. So I get close to that exit, and he goes to the front of the store and he tries to see what's going on. So he comes running back to the back of the store, and he's like, babe, let's go ahead and use this exit. We're going to use this outside exit right here, because the front of the store is chaos. Don't you know that people was actually running out of the store, walking out of the store with big bags and buggies full of stuff that they didn't pay for, all because of this government shutdown? I would not recommend anybody go to your neighborhood Walmart or anything like that, because Walmart right now is real dangerous.
Yikes. I'm a little concerned about Walmart, because she also tagged them, very boldly tagged them, and this could possibly tarnish their reputation.
So honestly, from this day forward, I'm repenting for all of my sins, because what we seen in Walmart tonight, it really just was a wake up.
Oh, she's the same person. So she's now recounting how she felt, and just the takeaways from that experience. You guys let me know what you think.
Because it was just a wake up call. I can't even really explain it. And all I can say is, whatever I have done in the past, please God, erase my sins. This day forward, I'm going to try to be a bigger and better person, not speak negative about anybody, because you never know what a person is going through. Them people may have needed those groceries, but me, I know that from here on out, my family is covered. And I just want to say to the people who have to resort, or who are resorting to these things, just please be careful. It is not worth your life. It is not worth your freedom. But from this day forward, my family and I are repenting from all sins, and we're going to try to do right from here on out.
Listen, I am all about repenting, because I myself am a believer of Jesus. But don't play with the Lord in this. If this is not a true story, that's not cool. Because when I first looked at this video, I thought, oh my gosh, like what truly happened to where the whole family is like repenting of their sins, and you know what they saw was just something that could not be told. Like she never really tells what happened in the store. But she mentioned something briefly in the previous video, but the way that she's going about it is just like, oh my gosh, something crazy happened and it's just unmentionable, and life as I know it has been changed. Like I am turning around from all my sins and moving forward and doing better. I'm going to be a different person, which is amazing. I'm fully behind that. But whatever she's basing it on a rumor and not anything that was actually happening. She's basing it on a rumor and nothing actually factual here. So that's why I kind of struggle to believe this. But if this really and that's why I really struggle to believe this. If there was something that really happened, I'm still looking for the actual story behind this, and for a news outlet to pick up on it, because they would pick up on this news like quickly. All the news outlets are looking for stories. This one would be super juicy for any news outlet.
It's not even November and people have already decided to start stealing from Walmart. Rushing Walmart. Like dipping out with carts full of shit without paying for anything. It's already happened. A Walmart employee has gotten on TikTok and basically said, we had to have an emergency evacuation because we couldn't contain the customers just going in and looting and stealing and shit. What do y'all think is gonna happen in November? Because y'all just said fuck those families, fuck those kids, fuck the disabled people, fuck the people who are already at the lowest. All right, just know.
Wait. I have to look this up. Is this true? I'm sure that I would be able to find something online. Let me just go ahead and take a moment to Google Walmart looting October 2025. Walmart looting claims take over TikTok. It's a TikTok. I'm telling you guys, it's a TikTok thing. So this is not talking about looting. It's not. I don't know. I have a theory that this is not true. I don't know. I can't find anything on here. So you guys let me know. What do you think? Have you found a credible resource? Please let us know down below. So these videos spread like wildfire. I mean, overnight people were believing that Walmart stores everywhere were being looted because the food stamp benefits expired, which it didn't expire yet because it's not November. Now, I'm not 1000% if it was true or not because I tried to find one solid story or an AI generated video. But what I do know is that the panic behind this news is 1000% real. And we can clearly see that when money stops moving, fear spreads a lot faster. It's a reminder of just how fragile financial security feels when people rely on systems that suddenly stop working. Okay, so now let's talk about the people that are actually living this out.
After 43 minutes, we can see where the food is being handed out. After 50 minutes of waiting, we're to the front of the line. We're home. Let's take a look at what we came back with. 10 pounds of peaches, 3 half gallons of milk, 12 pounds of grapes, chocolate, eggs, tortillas, all kinds of yogurt, overnight oatmeal, plenty of meat, 5 pounds of chicken, breakfast sausage, ground pork, ham steak, tuna fish, chicken breast, chicken tenderloins, 2 macaroni and cheese,
Where is this? I need to know because she came out with a whole lot here. She's got groceries for days. She's got breakfast, oats. She's got lunch, dinner, like even snacks. I love this. And truly, a lot of people right now are in need of these resources. And this is well worth the drive. It took her 50 minutes to get the groceries, and then she commuted a whole hour and 15 minutes. I understand, like, if you guys have been watching me for a while now, I have mentioned, I think one time in the very beginning of this series, that I at one time did visit food banks, and I visited them every time that they were open. And I think they were open every second Saturday of the month. So every second Saturday of the month, I would wake up super bright and early and I would get on that line. I was single by myself living in my first 1-bedroom apartment in New York City. You guys know how expensive New York is. And so I needed extra money to fill up my pantries. It was just me, thankfully, at that time. So, I was the only person that needed to be fed, me and my 2 dogs. But it was mostly for me why I was visiting those food banks. And this was because I was working a job that I didn't really get paid very well. And my rent and bills were very high at the time. And I realized that after paying all my bills that I barely had anything left for food. So I would visit this one food bank in New York and I would come home with bags filled with groceries, things for breakfast, ingredients, even canned goods, which I didn't really eat back then and I still don't now. But it's great just to have, in your shelf just for those emergency times, just to kind of fill up your emergency pantry. And I would come home with fish. They would give me fish. At one time, they gave me socks. It was a huge blessing. So it was a very humbling experience to have to visit these food banks and trail my New York City buggy on the bus, fill up my buggy, go back home with that buggy, trail it up the steps to my 3rd floor 1-bedroom apartment. It was a humbling experience, but it was definitely needed then. And so many people are relying on that now. And if you are right now, don't be ashamed because many of us, even those that make a lot of money, are still living paycheck to paycheck.
There's nothing I hate more than when you ain't got 2 things to match in the fridge. Why am I eating bread, mustard, and meat? Bread, mustard, and meat.
Wait. Bread, mustard, and meat is a little bit of a meal. That's something that I used to have as a child. I think it was bologna, cheese, mustard. When we didn't have mayo, we would use mustard, and it was a good sandwich. I'm just saying, that's something that you could put together.
With my hot fries. At least I got my hot fries. No cheese and no food stamps.
I sympathize with her. Like, sometimes I would be in that same place when we're in between like grocery shopping runs. I would look at what we have and I would think to myself, my God, like, even if I wanted to have some cereal, I don't have milk, or I don't have enough cereal. I have milk, but no cereal. Pancakes, no pancake syrup. Like, you know, when you're in between shopping runs, things just don't go together. And so that's why I mentioned ChatGPT. Sometimes you could use certain things together you just didn't know. And so that resource will help you to kind of put things together, find out what meals could actually be made with what things seem to be mismatched.
So y'all done cut off these people's stamps, and I work in retail. So that means now I gotta deal with this. And bitch, if you think I get paid enough to be stopping people from stealing, bitch, I don't. I don't. I will bag up your stilled items and I will say have a nice day. Because I'm not fighting you over no a thing of eggs. Like, I'm just not. If somebody come in there and they asking me where it is and they trying to take it, I'm going to tell them. I'm be like, girl, the register got the most money right there. I'm going to be like, if you want to go up front and grab some more stuff, go ahead. You good, girl. I'm not playing. Like, I'm not dealing with that. I don't get paid enough. I might take some with them.
I just hope whoever is his boss or supervisor does not see that video, because he's pretty much plainly telling you, I'm not doing anything. And I've worked in retail before. They pretty much want you to do the very most when you see any type of suspicious behavior. So yeah, you might want to not put that up online if, no.
So let me get this right. Y'all don't want us on food stamps, right? Y'all prefer us to work. But in this economy, even people that's working need food stamps. And the saddest part about it is that a lot of these jobs not even hiring to begin with. So people that's on food stamps, a lot of them not even choosing to be on food stamps. These jobs not even hiring like they should be. The job market is trash. And a lot of y'all in the comments like, well, you shouldn't need food stamps. Y'all don't get this by now. We in a whole new world today, baby. Even a person making up to $100K a year could use some food stamps right now. You get what I'm saying? And when you get to a point where you're taking food out of people's mouths, it can get dangerous. People are going to start taking it. Do you hear me? People are going to start taking that food. They're not going in there asking no. They're going to start taking that food. Why? Because we have to eat. We have to eat. Point blank, period. People die if they don't eat. What do you mean it's crazy for people to say they're going to walk in the store and just take the food? What else are they going to do? Because let's be real about it. These jobs don't even pay people enough to even survive regardless. Then when we try to use the food stamps that's put in place for people that's struggling, that'd be the first thing they try to take away. You get what I'm saying? They think it's a game and it's nothing funny about it. So when these start walking in these stores and taking what they need for dinner for their families and their kids, I don't want to hear, because it's a lose-lose situation regardless. With a 9 to 5, without a 9 to 5, you can work in 2 jobs and still struggling. People with jobs need food stamps. People that's on food stamps without a job can't get a job because the job market sucks. And even if they do have a job, they still can't afford food.
Wow, that was a lot. It just reminds me of my story that I mentioned when I would visit the food pantries. I was making too much to be on food stamps. And even now, I understand when you don't qualify for government assistance, and yet you wish you could sometimes when things are a little tight. And everyone is going through a season where things are tight financially right now. So I get it. But to say that this is a reason to start kind of going in and every man for himself, I don't agree with that. And that's putting that type of idea out there in the atmosphere for other people to pick up on and read and comment on each other's comments and hype each other up. I don't think that that's a great idea. And she's right about the job market. The job market does suck right now. And a lot of these jobs, they either don't pay enough or people are making a good amount, but they have a bunch of bills that don't really allow them the flexibility to buy groceries, because you're thinking about, okay, well, it's either the car note or the groceries, right? So people everywhere are in need. If you have a great job, you might have a lot of different bills coming in. You might have kids that rely on you, and kids, They used to say to me, kids are expensive, and I'm only now starting to understand what they're saying, whoever they are, what they're saying, because kids, I mean, even if they don't require a whole lot of, buying clothes and, buying brand sneakers and so forth, they're still hungry. They're hungry all the time, and food is becoming a little bit more expensive. So I'm sure that many households right now are wrestling with their budget and trying to figure out how they're going to pinch back or cut costs and so forth.
I don't really like the way people are responding to the news of the food stamps possibly being cut. I don't like how people are telling other people to get a job. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right. Like, congratulations. You have a job. You have made it in life. You are successful. You did what you have to do in school. You graduated, and now you are getting paid a high-paying job. Congratulations to you, but not everybody is as fortunate as you are. You can't sit here telling people, go get a job, go work, go do this. Like, some people don't have it as easy. Some people don't have it as fortunate. You got mothers right now that have no help, that have nobody that can help them. They need the food stamps to feed kids. Like, there's people that need these food stamps. You can't just sit there and tell people, go get a job. There's more people in the world right now than there are most jobs. Like, jobs are not even hiring like that. And when they do, they're not paying like that. You got people who done ran through the system. Like, you got people who are on disability. You got people who need the food stamps. Don't tell them, oh, it's their fault because of the choices they made in life. Everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves a chance at a good life. Just because you made it in life and did what you had to do, don't mean other people don't deserve a shot. Like,
I agree. I agree completely. Everything he's saying is exactly what I've been thinking. Even as far as a previous video that I made where a woman was secretly, she made a whole TikTok, and she was secretly judging another woman who had a few kids with her at a supermarket. And she was judging her according to what she was wearing and what she was saying and the car she drove, the phone that she had in her hand. And I just feel like, of course, like I mentioned before, that there are people out there who abuse the system, people that use the system for their own use, and they manipulate the system where they should not, because there are actual families who rely on this. Like he said, people that are disabled, veterans, people who truly are in need. But that is not everyone's story. There are people who have had to get on government assistance for different reasons. There are mass layoffs going on right now. And so there are people who are now without a job and trying their best to find a job in today's job market, that it's difficult to find a job for so many different reasons. And so in between those jobs, you're applying for unemployment. You are getting government assistance. And you might have had a great job. We're even seeing this on a federal level where federal employees are now getting fired. So everyone is now down to ground zero, the same level playing field. And so we are seeing now that those people who have had those high secure jobs that everyone looked to, corporate jobs, government jobs that everyone thought, those are the jobs that you should aim for because they are secure. Everyone's now having to deal with things on a human level, how they're going to eat, how they're going to keep the roof over their heads. And you might just see someone who is driving a luxury vehicle because maybe their previous lifestyle afforded them that ability. So now they don't have the job, and you don't know their story. Now they don't have the job, and so they now have to jump onto assistance. You don't know how long they've had that assistance for. And so you might see people who on the outside look like they have it all together, but you truly don't know that person's story.
You need to understand that this is important and this is a serious matter. Like, I hate when I see people say, oh, go get a job, stop relying on the government. Like, no, they need this help. Like, there are some people that really need it.
Yeah, like I said, like I totally agree with what he says. And the way I think is I like to think devil's advocate. You know, there are so many people thinking one way. I like to kind of veer my mind into the opposite direction to consider the things that maybe I don't see, because there is a huge reality out there that I have not experienced myself. And so I can't claim to know everything. And that goes for everything going on right now. I mean, so many people have so many things to say. And while that, you know, the things that they say might have truth, there's also an entire reality that many people don't know. Many people have not walked in those particular people's footsteps that they're judging. So let's just leave some space for grace for people who we don't know their story and what led them to making the decisions that they've made, because we don't know what we would do in their shoes. We don't know. You don't know you don't know that person's story unless you are willing to empathize. And a lot of people these days don't have that ability to empathize. Everyone they want to be loud and clear and heard and seen. But not many people want to humble themselves down to consider what situation they might be wrong about. I'm just saying. Now, I'm not sure of everyone's situation. Sure, there are people who abuse and even fraudulently use the system. And that's true basically about just about anything. But just to be clear, this video is not about shaming anyone who uses benefits. People end up in these different situations and positions for all kinds of reasons. It could be job loss, medical bills, rent increases, family emergencies. Life happens to all of us. So these are not all freeloaders. These could be including people that are working people, parents, caretakers, retirees that are relying on a program that was built for times like this. And right now, as we head into November 2025, many are living off what is left within their cabinets. The average SNAP benefit is about $6 per day. So that's not enough to just live on. That's barely enough to survive. And when all of that stops, it hits not only families, but the entire financial ecosystem. So here is what's really going on behind the scenes in all of this. So SNAP is a federally funded program, but states basically handle the distribution of the funds. So every month, states send out payment files to EBT vendors to load up their cards. But the USDA told states to pause those files until further notice, which basically means that the whole financial chain just froze. So think of it like payroll stopped in the middle of the month. No transfers means no spending. Retailers lose sales, small grocery stores will lose out on revenue, and local jobs will definitely take a hit. And here's the kicker. The USDA has $6 billion in contingency funds that are just sitting there, but it has not been released. Not because it's gone, but because of a policy choice. So when low-income households are not able to spend, grocery stores lose out on sales. And when stores lose sales, distributors will slow down. And then when distributors slow down, layoffs are bound to happen. So this is not just some social issue, but it's a finance story. It's inflation, supply chains, retail revenue, and GDP that's all tied to whether people can buy their groceries or not. All right, so now let's look at what happens when that desperation reaches its breaking point.
Yeah. Well, I just got a letter. I just checked my mailbox. Ain't no telling how long it's been in there. I just got a letter saying, due to government regulations and the shutdown or whatever, basically, we regret to inform you that as of November 5th, there will be an end to your SNAP benefits. Like, why would they do that, man? And then they say, they don't know when it's gonna start back. They want to hopefully by January. High as food is. I'm freaking pissed. Why would they end my benefits? I need my EBT, man. food is so high. When they gonna force us to eat healthy.
So if y'all think the people are the only ones that's going to be losing out this little text message notification y'all sent about us not getting our November EBT, you guys are very mistaken. So this message is also for Walmart, Kroger, Albertson Companies, Publix, Aldi, Costco, and Sam Clubs, and Target. Y'all know how you like to double up the prices for holidays and for the holiday items that people buy, like milk, eggs, and cheese? Because Kerrygold butter for the 4-pack at Costco is $20 and it's usually $10. Well, y'all won't be getting that money. But even worse, not only are y'all getting the SNAP money that you usually get every month, y'all gonna be taking losses because people are tired, baby. So it's finna get real cute. Not that I'm encouraging anything bad. I'm just telling you what it is, and y'all need to go on the internet, and people are not playing with none of you. So remember this, guys. Retailers count on holiday margins. Seasonal premium pricing means big revenue. If lower income shoppers can't buy, stores miss both volume and margin. Low income shoppers also drive frequency for every week purchases. So grocery stores, y'all better stand the fuck up.
You guys, I just came out of Publix. I borrowed my sister's food stamps. And guess what? I spent $300. No one told her to not be paying attention. Anyways, she was there cooking in my house, taking my food, okay? So I went ahead and I grabbed her food stamp card. Because guess what? Next month, with the whole government shutdown, we're not getting food stamp, guys. Okay? Just saying. So I have to take advantage. And I bought like $300 worth of like meat, chicken, you name it, okay? So yeah, too bad, so sad. She's probably looking for me because she's been blowing up my phone. Like, where are you? I'm like, I'm gonna go shower, but that was like an hour ago. So she's probably like looking for me right now. So
wait a minute. Somebody said admitting to a crime online, good move. Yeah, I was just wondering, like, are you able to use somebody else's card? Yikes. Someone said that is a felony. Do you have a permit? She said, do I need one? You asking me, how about you ask yourself the same way you was telling other people that they need permit to sell lemonade. What is going on in here? A lot of people are saying this is a crime. Can't you get reported? Yikes, let me get up out of here. I feel like I should not be here.
And I just want to come on here and say to you people that be standing in front of the stores and the Good Samaritans and all of that, when November 1st come, and if they don't uplift this shutdown for these SNAP benefits, I'm going to need y'all to mind y'all business. Please mind y'all business. Those people, they trying to feed their kids, and they trying to go home and just feed their kids. And I would I would hate for you to not be able to make it back to your family, and for you to not be able to make it back home because you trying to save these billionaire companies, you hear me, of their funds when they actually have insurance on every box of macaroni in there. So just mind your business and go on. And if you gonna be a good Samaritan and you gonna stand there and you gonna pay and you gonna do all of that, do your part. Do your part. But for those that are out there trying to do what the fuck they gotta do, please leave them people alone and let them take that food back to their kids. Let them take that meal back to their kids. Let them feed their kids. Let them feed their husbands and their fathers and their mothers, and all that shit don't have nothing to do with you. Because when all this shit is over, you either will be here or you won't. I'ma just say that. Either you gonna make it out or you won't. Because people are not gonna let you come in between their kids' next meal. Who the fuck are you? I'm trying to figure it out. Just mind your business. Don't get to taking pictures. Put your phones away. Put the fucking phones away. What are you recording them for? So what are they supposed to do? They supposed to let their kids just, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go all into it, but they supposed to just let their kids just go without? Because the government is having a kindergarten argument? Get the fuck up out of here. Like, mind your business. Do what you do. And go home. And lock your door. Because you're about to see the beast come out of a lot of people that y'all ain't seen. The people that didn't even know that they had that in them. If they do not fix this, you will see a side out of people that you'll be like, damn, I don't even know that person. Yeah, get the fuck out their way and let them do what they gotta do. That's all I'm saying. This is bigger than you. This is bigger than the program. This is bigger than all of that. And people are going to be loyal to their kids and to their families before they be loyal to who you are out here trying to do right. When most of y'all that will be trying to have not been in their shoes before. Don't try and wear the shoe, bitch, because it ain't your size. That's all I'm going to say.
Me and my kids have been 5 days without food. 5 days ago, my food stamps were taken from me. Stolen from me. With no warning. No warning. Today, I get this food stamp letter from the food stamp office telling me not only am I losing my food stamps, I'm losing my $2,100 in cash benefits that I get every single month to pay my bills. I'm losing my Section 8. My food stamps have now decreased from $4,300 to $19 a month for 6 kids. How the hell am I supposed to feed 6 kids at $19 a freaking month? On top of having to come up with rent, because now I don't have Section 8. Cash benefits, no cash benefits. My $300 utility check that I get every single month, I will no longer be getting.
So this is exactly what financial emergency looks like on the ground. Not a stock market crash, but people who are wondering how they are going to feed their families. And it's also important to remember that the USDA has done this before. Back in 2018 and 2019, they actually released early funds to prevent these benefit gaps. But this time around, we're not seeing anything. But the difference between then and now is that it's about policy and not just about money. And SNAP is not the only one. The WIC program, which supports 6.7 million mothers and children, is running on fumes as well. The White House temporarily covered the month of October, but those funds are going to expire soon. And after that, agencies might just halt their benefits altogether. So that means that mothers could lose access to things like baby formula and healthy foods, all because Congress is not able to agree on a budget. So this is not just about programs, but it's also about people's health, their nutrition, and their sense of dignity. So if you are watching this right now and you rely on SNAP or WIC, I first want to tell you that you should not feel ashamed for needing these benefits and that you are not alone. What I do want to advise you is that you should check in with your state's website every few days just in case any type of update could break through. But whether you use these benefits or not, do understand this, that when the government funding stops, it does hit everyone's economy. So when low-income families stop spending, the market slows down. And those of you who invest, the grocery stock that you invest in is going to dip. And the jobs within your community, they might disappear, and it quickly becomes everyone's problem. So here's a question for you. Let us know in the comments section how you are budgeting right now. If you've seen any of these changes within your area, let us know down below in the comment section. And this all ties directly into my last video about layoffs that are getting a lot more worse. That last video broke down how job insecurity feeds into this same crisis. So I'll link it right here on the screen, along with the Cost of Living Crisis in America playlist, where we track how the rising prices, shrinking safety nets, and even corporate job cuts are reshaping financial life for so many working Americans. Because at this point, it's not just about budgeting, but it's about surviving the system that we're all living in. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and like it and share with someone else to raise awareness, to pick their brains to see maybe what they think about this subject matter, and start some kind of conversation within your sphere of influence. And make sure that you subscribe for the next part of our series that is coming up very soon. Thanks again for watching. Let's chat down below, and we will see each other in the next video.